If you are dealing with frayed emotions and feel easily irritated, you are not alone. The prolonged stress caused by the coronavirus pandemic is impacting many people and making them more irritable. Counselor Kim Crawford joins us now to talk more about the issue. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Kim, why might people feel more quick to anger or more easily annoyed during this time?
They're more stressed, they're more anxious about situations that are going on. So I think people are just a little more on edge. And so the more common response is to be more angry, more quick-tempered. And so that's just an easy reaction that people have. And so that's something that people are just naturally going to have that reaction towards people that that they're close with, that they're with day in and day out.
As a country, we pride ourselves on being very individualistic. Many people value having their own careers, different workout schedules, and then coming home and sharing a wonderful time together. Now, many families are together more than they have ever been before. So how is that affecting people?
Absolutely. People have, been used to doing their own thing and then, coming back together and sharing, some special times together, and we don't necessarily have that time apart and that time to ourselves where, we can have those individual moments, by ourselves doing our own special things. And so we tend to lash out at each other. And so I think being able to, and we've talked about this numerous times, being able to communicate our needs to each other, to our spouses, telling each other what we need, be able to take some time to do those things separately, even if it is, going out for a walk or doing some exercises in your own homes, things like that. We still need those individual times together as well as those times as a couple.
So how do you manage irritability during this time period?
Those healthy habits, getting outside, getting some exercise, getting fresh air, eating right, getting some sleep, limiting, alcohol intake, getting together with friends as much as you can, whether it's going for walks or doing Zoom, talks with your friends, anything you can do to kind of keep your routine going, things like that, to maintain those healthy habits.
Experts also say now is the time to over-communicate how you might be feeling to a loved one or a family member. What does that mean, over-communicate how you might be feeling?
Absolutely over-communicate. Expressing, your frustrations, expressing your anxiety, even if your spouse or your child is acting frustrated, acting out in such a way is to, even simply state it, it looks like you're frustrated. It looks like you're angry about, and it may be obvious, but simply communicating what it looks like to you, so that spouse or that child has the ability to say, yes, I am frustrated because of, and then let that dialogue, carry its course, so that the two of you can communicate whatever that is that's going on, instead of letting the frustrations then turn into anger and turn into the lashing out and turn into the potential for some, with children even, those behavioral problems that may arise.
Anything else that you would like to share with us tonight?
Communication is key, as always, but especially when we're going through something as difficult as, the pandemic has been, and just what it brings about with financial pressures, the school pressures, the difficulty with the uncertainty of jobs. That communication is really key when it comes to, spouses, when it comes to talking with your children, when it comes to talking with friends, and just really making sure those lines of communication is open. And then, as we talked about, is those healthy coping skills, getting out there, getting some exercise, having good sleep patterns, good eating habits, and things like that to maintain, your emotional and, your physical health.
Counselor Kim Crawford, thank you so very much for your time tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.